Hi guys, this is Paula Ram, and the awesome Shannon Ferraby asked me if I would come on and answer a few questions about believing in your value. And I said, sure, I'd be glad to. And then I read the questions. These are really hard questions. And so I had her send me 3 more, and those were just as hard. And it's just a topic that's not easy. It's not easy to talk about. And then to top it off, I said, well, had this hurricane and stuff going on. I'm like, okay, have somebody else go. Other people go before me. I'll be thinking about this. And so then I saw the awesome Wendy's answers to the question. I'm like, after crying and her heartwarming story, and it was just so awesome. I'm like, oh man, now I've got to there's no way to top that one. There's no way to top Wendy's. So if you haven't seen Wendy's, go watch it. It'll just amaze you and really warm your heart. So I don't know how much more I can say about that. So the first question was, in your opinion, why do so many ladies fail to believe in their value? And this, I just think, that one's pretty easy. That was an easy question, I think, because we are all raised with people criticizing us, making fun of us, and looking down on us. Like, it starts off in, I got a fire ant bite right there. It starts off in grade school, and man, kids are mean. Kids are mean. And if you're not like exactly like them, or if you don't just happen to fit in that particular day, they can just make life miserable for you, and they can make you feel like dirt. And that's just the life of kids, how they can treat each other or bully you. I just remember, you're all, the feeling of always being left out, and that feeling of being left out really will stick with you for the rest of your life, because you'll then always feel left out. You're like, oh, they leave me out. Because in like middle school, grade school, middle school, it truly is intentional. They truly are leaving you out. They have their little cliques and their little clubs where they do leave people out that, for whatever reason, for a silly little thing, you will be excluded. So I think this is, and especially for women, for females, I don't think guys do this as much, but for some reason, there's the mean girls. Why are we so mean growing up? I don't know. I don't get it. But that just scars. Most females in society are totally scarred from going to school or having friends and being left out or being bullied or being said they're no good or they're ugly or they're not wearing the right clothes. So yeah, I think you can totally relate to this and remember all those instances. I don't want to dig up all this dirt, make you feel bad, But yeah, I just remember, one example that sticks out was, in the cafeteria, at the cafeteria table, the 2 girls who always had the preppy clothes and the nice expensive clothes would just like look down their noses at me and say, why do you wear that? And of course, because my family can't afford, the nicer preppy clothes with the little alligator on it or the different, things that we wore back then. So stuff that sticks with you. Stuff like that you remember, and it's hard to get over because you kind of imagine that people are still thinking that about you. And then also when you're an adult, things happen where you don't feel liked for whatever reason, and a lot of it, as we're adults, it tends to be in our imagination or our negative self-talk, because most women grow out of that mean girl thing when they're adults in general. But the way our minds have been trained through growing up, we automatically filter everything through, they don't like me, I'm being excluded, I'm not good enough, I don't have value, other people have value, but I don't, I'm worth nothing. So, and it comes, when you're an adult as well. And like one example that was very painful for me was like with baby showers. So if someone cares about you, if you have a friend that's good enough to hold a baby shower for you, you must be loved and you must be treasured and you must be valuable. And would you believe I've had 7 kids and no friend or family member ever gave me a baby shower? And it's like you get that, then you get that negative self-talk that no one likes you. It's because no one likes you. You don't have any real friends. You're worthless, and stuff like that. And then there was another instance. I guess I'm into question number 2 now. Can I relate? And answer is yes. So when I was a new mom, my husband worked about an hour away. I had a 6-month-old baby I was at home with in the apartment. I went down to mail some letters. I was carrying the baby, and I was on my way back up the stairs. I tripped. I fell, twisting my ankle, holding the baby. I still had the baby up in the air. I saved the baby, but my ankle was a mess. It was blowing up purple and swelling up. I couldn't walk on it. I'm sitting there at the bottom of the steps. How am I going to get up to the 3rd floor apartment with this baby and this foot and my mail, and so I crawled up to the 3rd floor apartment with my baby in one hand. I may have left the mail down at the bottom. Carried up my baby, crawled up, got to my apartment. I knew my husband was an hour away. It took him an hour. I knew I needed to get to the ER. I knew I was having trouble taking care of the baby in my injured state. So I called someone who I thought was probably one of my better friends or my best friend in the area. And I said, oh, I think I need help. Could you take me to the ER? So I also didn't have a car. And even if I did have a car, I wouldn't be able to drive. But she's like, oh, I'm sorry. We're getting ready to leave for vacation in an hour or 2, and I don't think I can fit it in. And I was floored. Like, you expect your friends to be there for you in your time of need. And I rarely ask people for things. I don't want to bother them, but I thought, okay, this is my time of need. It's okay to ask. I really need help now. And I was let down. And with that disappointment becomes all that negative self-talk in your head again. You're no good. No one likes you. You have no friends. You're alone. No one cares about you. So that was very, very hurtful. And that kind of goes into one of my suggestions of how to get out of these things is, one, watch that negative talk. Things will happen. Friends will let you down. Stuff happens. It's like I've had to watch my negative talk, and that's something I still struggle with. I still struggle with interpreting things the wrong way, and not through what really is the truth, what's going on here. So, man, if you just let that negative talk continue, it just spirals downhill, and it's tough to get out of that pit once you've let yourself spiral down that far with all that negative talk. So, watching negative talk is huge. Of course, easier said than done, but just recognize it when you see it starting. If you see that negative talk starting, watch it. Also, forgive others when you've been hurt in the past, or you felt not valued or cared about. It really doesn't help to hold on to that for years and years, as I did both those instances. I held on to for years and years, and it really does no good. It really does no good. Just forgive and go on. Realize other people aren't perfect. People make mistakes. They let you down, you let them down, None of us are perfect. So also a big thing that helped me was to use the feelings of not being liked or cared about or valuable as a trigger in my head. When I start getting the negative thought planted in my head from something that happened, I use that as a trigger to think, okay, who else can I help now to feel loved, to feel cared about, to feel special, to feel valued? And that is a big secret. That's a big, huge thing that when we do that, it's really almost impossible to get out of it sometimes with trying to talk yourself out of it, It's really hard. But you're like, okay, this is a trigger. I feel let down. I feel unvalued. I am going, okay, who can look around and see who can I build up today? Who can I build up today? And that will make you feel so much better. That will give you true value because you've actually helped someone else. And that's where true value comes from, is being a value to someone else, making them feel valuable rather than trying to seek value for yourself. Give away value, give value, make someone else feel valuable, special, loved, and then it will come back in return. And the biggest thing that I meant to start with, but I will end with, is you are valuable just because God made you. You are made in God's image. You are valuable and special in yourself. And a lot of times you may be unable to help someone else. And I know there was a time where, because that was my suggestion before, is help somebody else, build someone else up. But there might be times where you are sick in bed and you just cannot, might be a time where you cannot even help someone else. If you can't even just send a message through Facebook, things today are much easier to stay in touch with each other and build each other up. Say you're thinking about them, anything to reach out to somebody. But there might be times you just can't do that. You might be down with pneumonia or whatever. But that doesn't mean you've lost your value because now you're unable to help somebody else. I know there's been times I've felt totally valueless and worthless because I am not helping out other people as much as I would like. And there's gonna be times in your life you just can't help other people. Like when you have lots of young kids or whatever, there are different seasons and how much you can help people. But even just one kind word, one Facebook message, one email, one phone call, one note in the mail can really do wonders to help someone else, lift them up that day, make them feel valuable, make them feel loved, to know someone's thinking about them and cares about them. And then it comes back. And then it's much easier to see your value there then. But even just as you are valuable and you are made valuable. So I hope this helps you guys, and I can't wait to hear the next story from the next person that Shannon interviews. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.